Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another great edition of Spartan One-on-One with Ross Gordon. Again, I'm the play-by-play voice of Norfolk State University now for 20 years. And for the first time today, for the second-year head coach of Norfolk State University softball, I will interview the head coach of Norfolk State University softball. First of all, Coach Inzana, thank you for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to get to know our head coaches, but also a pleasure to just sit down and have good conversation about good student athletes and a great program. So first of all, Coach, welcome to Spartan 101.
Thank you, Ross. I appreciate it.
And this has been a great platform, especially for all of our coaches. We've done pretty much everybody up who's starting their season, and you, just like everybody else, getting their season started. I know you're excited because last year nothing happened. You had a couple of weeks, and then it was shut down because of the COVID-19 virus and its outbreak. Talk a little bit about how excited you are just to be back on the field and just to see your young ladies hitting the softball, catching the softball, and getting ready to play your first game.
You know what? It's excited. It's probably an understatement to get back to any kind of normalcy, just even a little bit from where we were, is definitely a breath of fresh air. I think, not only us softball, but everybody as a nation, being inside the whole time or being limited on what you can do when you have one lifestyle, you got to change it so drastically. Is it difficult mentally, spiritually, physically? So to come out and to be able to go outside and do what we love, it's a game that we love is just, it's really, just godsend, to be honest. Yeah.
I think it's also, you mentioned all the aspects that come on these student athletes, the things that they have to deal with. It's almost like being back on the diamond makes sense. Out of everything going on, this sort of makes sense. And for you don't have to do too much because you know your team. And most of the young ladies from last year came back. So you kind of know how beneficial is that. To just be able to add to the nucleus that you had from last year.
I'll tell you, it's a welcome reprieve knowing that you have every starter back. We have every starting position return. Every position returns a starter, every single one. And I think we're deeper in a few of the positions. It helps. As a coach, it's almost like you have 20 coaches out there because you have the upperclassmen who help any of the new ones, any new players come in, transfers or freshmen that come in, they help out. So I don't have to worry about footwork because the upperclassman, Jay Dixon's helping them with footwork, talking about it. I don't have to repeat myself. I can work on something else. And it really is a big reprieve and a lot of weight off coach's shoulders when we have to do less, and we can sit back and just monitor the big picture and work on big picture, and the players are taking care of the small picture. So they're micro, we're macro. It works well that way.
And Coach, just coming out of the press room, as we call it, the SID's office put out 5 players were named to the all-conference team preseason. 2 of them in the outfield. And I know that's a big plus. It's really strong to have 2 MEAC, all MEAC performers in the outfield. Talk a little bit about what you can expect from them this year, especially in the outfield with your defense being that, their offense being what it is, but their defense really coming along as well.
Well, you watch our team when we put a lineup in, our number 1, 2, and 3 hitters are our left fielder, right fielder, and center fielder. So they are the strength of our team. They have been the strength of our team. I think this year, which is good, I think they've got some competition. We've closed the gap in other areas where now the outfields, I think they're still the ones that, the dogs in the fight, but the other ones are coming up fast, Ross. They're coming fast. We're looking pretty good in a couple other areas. We're happy, especially at this stage of practice and where we're at in the season, looking pretty good in a couple other areas.
And Coach, I think one of those areas that you have to look pretty good, and not even, well, I'll take that back. You can't look pretty good. In the Division One, you have to have someone in the circle who can get you from 1 to 7. And if you look at good teams in the country, not only in this conference, they're strong in the circle, and you're pretty deep in the circle this year. Talk a little bit about your pitching staff.
Yeah, you said it right. Undoubtedly and unquestionably, the strength of any championships team starts in the circle, because your pitcher is the only player on the team that touches the ball every single play. So she has the most opportunities to succeed or fail. Saying that, this year we have eight ladies that they're doing a great job in the circle, and we have a good variance in what they can do, what their capabilities or what their capacity is on how they work together as a team and against each other competing. And it's really been exciting. It was exciting for the limited fall we had, and in the spring so far, because we've gone live a few times. We pitched live at batting practice. We pitched live when we're hitting inside too. And there's been some really good battles. And honestly, I don't think the pitching staff, if I was to tell you a 1 through 8, has been the same 1 through 8 any week in a row. It's changed because they're working well off each other and growing off of each other each week.
And that's a good question. And maybe you can help me with this. Around college, you might see 1 or 2 on each staff that are the go-to, and especially at the good team, you have really, really dominant pitchers. But to have 8 on your staff, either that's a good thing. Some people can say either that's a good thing that you have the depth, or maybe it might be one of those things where you just don't know. How good is it to know that all of them can contribute?
It's good, and there's a lot of coaches that are I guess moving this direction. I'm atypical. I was a pitching staff guy 10 years ago. I wasn't a big proponent of one pitcher doing every inning, because even though it is a natural motion, it still wears your body down. And no matter what kind of physical condition you're in, it's going to take its toll, and you're not going to be as productive towards the end of the season. So it's always better to have multiple arms. Saying with 8 arms, obviously not 8 will pitch the same amount of innings. We will have a 3 or 4 or 2 that are starters, and the others will come in and relieve. I'm actually looking at this year, because I have 3 players that can hit, 4 pitchers that hit. I can have a pitcher that hits, play defense, and then have a pitcher starting on the mound, and I can switch them in and out, interchange them in and out as many times as I want in a game without costing me any kind of substitution. So it's a good way where I can get a pitcher who's stronger against a left-handed hitter and a pitcher who's stronger against right-handed hitters, and interchange them within the game instead of asking a pitcher not to do what her strength is.
Options are always good, coaches.
They are, Ross.
Options are always good.
Until we coaches screw them up. We screw them up all the time. Yeah. Bad choices, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, that's why you get paid the big bucks. Hey, listen, coach. Yeah. Listen. Okay, I'll be good now. Here we go. Offense. Offense. You just mentioned it. You have pitchers who can hit. You have 2 outfielders who were all MEAC, and a lot of times you're not all MEAC because of defense. It's because of what you do in the batter's box. Your offense should be pretty good this year. And, you're going to have those moments. I know in baseball and softball, for the longest time, your winter months aren't your best hitting months, but it gets better when it gets warmer outside. Talk a little bit about, maybe you might not see the 400s at the beginning of the season. It might pick up. But talk a little bit about your offense and how you expect it to grow throughout the year.
Obviously, we have, like you said, we have several hitters that are extremely strong. We've got several that did their work in the offseason or during the pandemic. They worked hard on their own. They're looking pretty good. There's always room for growth. Hitting is by far the most difficult part of this sport. I think it's the same in baseball, but I know for softball, we think it's pitching. It's not pitching, it's hitting. Hitting's extremely difficult, and it's a rare talent. I think we're the long ball. Again, I wholeheartedly feel we'll lead the conference again in the long ball, as we had ever since I've been here so far. I think our run production should go up, and our extra base hits should go up. I know that in inter squad, we are hitting more extra base hits than we've ever hit before. Our batting average is about the same, but we're hitting the pitcher's misses hards. So I should say hard. We're hitting it hard, where this is the first year that every hitter during BP can take it out. So it gives us some good options, or a possibility every time somebody's up the bat that we could go deep.
And that's exciting. And I know everybody likes to see the action. And manufacturing runs are always, that's the name of the game. But it's easier just to run around all the bases at one time and not have to think about stealing a base. I get it. The long ball is good.
Guaranteed RBI. That's what we tell them. We say every time you step to the plate, it's an RBI opportunity. Every time. Yeah.
And playing baseball as a kid, everybody just tells you to just make contact, be efficient, get on base. But now the game has sort of changed. You're looking to get runs quicker, and the athlete is different. The athletes that you're recruiting are different. They have that skill set. How is it? Because we weren't the first team to look for people who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. We just really adapted to it. How is it to find those players and really be able to depend on them, as especially since you're now here for your third season and you're really getting into it?
Yeah, it's with technology nowadays and the fact that we do metrics on players all the time. It's not as difficult as it used to be. It used to be you walked out and I can use our second baseman as an example, Denisha Meganson. I was walking out of a tournament where I was recruiting at, and she hit a home run over the fence, and she went on defense, and I just stood there to watch. I was like, well, that was a pretty good hit. I watched her come up the bat again, and the second time she came up, she hit another home run. And I watched her the rest of the game. She ended up hitting 3 home runs that game, and the rest is history. I'm like, hey, I really like that kid. Her stature, you wouldn't think of it because she's not tall, she's not muscular, but she can swing it. And she's one of the kids that leads us in home runs and inter squads and practice. She can hit a ball. So that's something you can look and see metric wise is you do bat exit velocity. We have a young player, a 22 or 21 that's coming in next year. Her exit velocity, she's hit 85 miles per hour, which is ridiculous. I don't want to sound sexist or not, but it's more of a guy speed than it is a girl speed. Guys are usually 80s, 90s. Girls are high 70s, maybe a low 80 on the top ends. And she's mid 80s. She'll hit mid 80s. That's just crazy power. So you see someone like that, if she just misses the ball, it's still going out because of her bats, because of her metrics. So now with technology and metrics on everything, you can kind of look at it and say, okay, she's got, the speed it's going to take to hit it out. Now the only thing is, can we put the barrel on the ball? Yeah.
And coach, a lot of it was expected for you. We talked about offense, we talked about defense. A lot was expected of the team last year. And like you said, you have starters coming back at every position. And I think mentally for a lot of the young ladies, it was a little difficult for them not to finish out the season knowing what they had in the dugout. It's the same group. Other teams might have gotten a little better and a little bit of every spot. But how has this offseason, how has this COVID situation really galvanized your team and brought them together to reach that goal that you want, and not only that you want, but they want?
Yeah, I think it's just reinforced their passion for the game and competition in itself. When you're absent from it and you have to work out on your own, you have to be disciplined to work out on your own or swing on your own. You don't have somebody throwing to you. You don't have a teammate talking to you. It definitely wears you down. It maybe at times you even question your desire, but once you get back on the field, or I should say, once you're away from it, you're going to find out, yeah, it is what I truly love. It is my passion, or no, it's just something I want to do. Every one of our players, you can tell it's their passion. They definitely wanted to get back. They were working hard to get back, and they're happy to be back.
Coach, well, we get started soon, and baseball and softball, the spring sports, they're getting started at normal times. Basketball got started at a normal time, maybe back a little bit. You guys are getting started at a normal time, which really puts you back into that normal type field. And we're excited just to get you guys back on the field. And I know if we're excited, you have to be excited as well to see your ladies come out of the dugout.
Well, definitely excited and happy for them. It's just, like I said, it is a good reprieve for them. It's a way to get away from the hectic life we live in now, the society we live in, and the environment of working a job, going to school, all the pressures to go. They walk on the field, and they're playing something they enjoy. They love doing it. And you and I both know not everybody's fortunate enough to, when they leave college or they graduate high school, to get a job they like. I mean, you do your job because you have to do the job to pay bills and support a family or a lifestyle or whatever it is. But they're getting to do something they love to do, like you and I love coaching, and I'm sure you love broadcasting. We're fortunate. We're one of the fortunate people out there, and they're fortunate. They're doing what they love right now, and they know that, so they appreciate it. They cherish every moment they have, and they understand that there's an end to it.
And Coach, if anybody's a fan of just having good players, they can follow you on Instagram. They can follow your players on Instagram, your NSU softball account. They have days in the life of your NSU softball players. It's amazing. It's good watching. It's good watching. They have very interesting lives. They have very interesting lives. Your Instagram page is always full of good stuff. Baby pictures. I've seen baby pictures, birthdays, all of it. It's a good time to be a softball player at Norfolk State University. It's very exciting. And we appreciate the insight. I think one thing as a fan, we appreciate the insight that you give us on your team, and we appreciate the young ladies and for who they are becoming as well. You're doing a great job with the program, Coach. For the first time going one-on-one here on Spartan 101, you did a good job, Coach. It was a great conversation.
I appreciate it, Ross. It was easy to do with you guys. So we appreciate everything, everybody does for us, because we understand it. If people didn't do things for us or help us out, it would never happen. So we appreciate everything everybody else does. Fans, staff, administration, everybody, university. And
we got to do it again, Coach. We got to do it again. We got to do it again.
I agree, Ross. I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. So, hey, thank you. I've gotten everybody. Everybody has to do it, Coach. Everybody has to do it before they go. This is your first time on Spartan 101 with Ross Gordon. You have to end it the right way. Come on, say it.
Behold the green and gold. Come on. How else do you want me to do it?
You're exactly right. Thank you, Coach, for your time. That's Coach Inzana, the the softball coach here at Norfolk State University. Thank you for your time. And make sure you log on to www.nsuspartans.com for all of Norfolk State University softball information. And you can find out where you can follow the players as well and see about their days right here on Instagram as well. Thank you for joining us, Coach, and we'll see you real soon.